What would you do if every door closed in your face? If every path you tried ended in pain? If people turned against you one by one? If even those closest to you were taken away? Would you keep going? Or would you give up? The Messenger of Allah continued his mission with unwavering determination, trying every possible way to spread the truth. He never stopped, never slowed down, and never lost hope. Even when everything around him seemed to collapse, his heart remained firm and his direction never changed. His purpose was clear and no obstacle was strong enough to shake it. But in Mecca, things were getting harder day by day. The opportunities were shrinking, the pressure was increasing, and the enemies were doing everything they could to silence him. Every step he took was met with resistance. Every word he spoke was challenged. Every effort he made was blocked. Despite all this, he kept calling people to the truth. He would repeat again and again, "Is there anyone who will take me to his people and protect me? Quraysh is preventing me from delivering the message of my Lord." Even his enemies were shocked by his persistence. They mocked him, questioned him, and said, "Isn't it time for you to give up hope in us?" But he didn't stop. Not for a moment. Not even when the situation seemed impossible. Then came one of the hardest years of his life. The year that would later be remembered as a year of deep sorrow. He lost his greatest supporters, his uncle who protected him from harm, and his beloved wife, who supported him in every difficulty and never left his side. Now imagine this, losing the two strongest pillars in your life, and still choosing to continue your mission without hesitation, without complaint, without turning back. He turned toward Taif, hoping to find support, hoping to open a new door for the message. He went there with Zayd, carrying nothing but hope, patience, and complete trust. But what happened there was heartbreaking beyond words. Instead of support, they rejected him. Instead of listening, they mocked him. Instead of protection, they drove him out, throwing stones at him until his feet were covered in blood. Children and adults alike joined in, turning that moment into one of the most painful experiences of his life. It was a moment where many would have broken, where many would have given up completely, where many would have lost their faith in people. Years later, when he was asked, "Was there a day harder than Uhud?" he answered, and he described Taif. Yet even after all that pain, he did not give up, because inside him was something unbreakable, a determination that could not be destroyed, a hope that could not be extinguished, a faith that could not be shaken. And this is where the real lesson begins. Because strength is not about never facing difficulty. It is about continuing despite it. It is about standing firm when everything around you tells you to stop. It's about believing when there is no visible sign of success. It is about trusting even when the outcome is unknown. Those who keep moving forward, even when everything seems lost, eventually reach their goal. Those who refuse to surrender, even in the darkest moments, are the ones who shape history and leave a mark that never fades. History proves this again and again. The greatest victories often come right after the hardest moments. The biggest breakthroughs often happen when everything feels like it's falling apart. The people of Taif missed that opportunity, but others didn't. Soon after, people from Medina came. They listened carefully. They believed sincerely. And they carried the message back to their city. What was rejected in one place was embraced in another. What seemed like failure was actually preparation for something greater. The next year they returned, stronger, more determined, and a new chapter began. A small group turned into a growing community. Hope began to take shape. Faith began to spread. Then came migration. And what started as a call turned into a community, and then into a state. A society built not on wealth, not on status, not on power, but on faith, brotherhood, sacrifice, and unity. A society where people stood for one another, supported one another, and lived for a higher purpose. Because real strength doesn't come from numbers. It comes from belief. It comes from conviction. It comes from knowing why you are walking the path you chose and refusing to turn back no matter how difficult it becomes. And the one who never gave up changed the course of history forever. So the question is not just about what happened back then. The real question is about you. When your moment comes, when everything feels like it's falling apart, when people doubt you, leave you, and stand against you, when the path becomes unclear and the burden feels heavy, will you give up or will you keep going?